And now a young actress. Miss Heatherton, you have not seen...
Mr. Jessel, Mr. Levine, ladies and gentlemen, I am very grateful for the opportunity to be here tonight and have the chance to talk with you. I am happy to join with my brother in paying tribute to Joe Levine. I think for two reasons, really. First, it's a young boy from Boston to amongst you to thank you and express the appreciation of the President and all of the others who've been involved directly with this problem, for all the help and assistance that I see of those gentlemen behind me and on this table, and those of you out there in the audience that have met with us at various times, for all the energy and the efforts that you have made over the period of the last 5 months. You don't have to be told that there is nothing hypothetical about the American Negro's quest for equal opportunity. You know that it is happening, that it is here and now, and that to ignore it is to adopt a self-deluding, head-burying posture of the ostrich. You know that the time is long past, if indeed it ever existed, when any opposition to civil rights could be argued on moral grounds. Yet the controversy persists, not so much in moral terms as on the grounds of legal technicality. Does the federal government have any right to tell a businessman whom he may or may not serve? That seems to be the main thrust of the argument today. It's an argument very likely to impede the passage of the Civil Rights Bill, now pending in Congress. And it's an argument that cannot instantly be dismissed, if only because it's sincerely held by so many reasonable men. Who might be reluctant to take the step alone is encouraged to do so when it comes about as part of a group action. So far, very few disruptive incidents have taken place as the result of theater desegregation. And for the most part, those that have occurred have been quickly and peacefully resolved. One theater owner voluntarily desegregated in Cambridge, Maryland, a town world famous for its racial strife, and there have been no unpleasant repercussions from that act. We had an inferior because of the color of his skin. This, in turn, has raised the question of the government's right to regulate the way a proprietor does business. And this leads us back to that persistent question about the Public Accommodations Clause in the Civil Rights Bill. It seems to me that there are three logical answers to that question. One, there is nothing new or extraordinary in the concept of federal regulations in private enterprise or private property. Federal health laws govern all businesses that deal in food and drugs for public consumption. Federal safety regulations must be met by all airlines. Federal deposit insurance must be maintained by all banks. Zoning laws affect all property owners, and the list of examples could go on and on. Two, a federal law prohibiting segregation in places of public accommodation would be no different in principle and less restrictive than similar laws that are now on the books in 31 of our 50 states. The third, and to me the most logical answer, is that a public accommodations business is, by its very definition, a business that opens its doors and accommodates the public. No organization established to serve an exclusive group, such as a private club, would be affected by the proposed law, nor would any businessman lose his right to refuse service to a customer who is, for example, drunk or unruly or improperly dressed. Both the spirit and the letter of the Civil Rights Bill makes its purpose absolutely clear. Its purpose is to ensure that no man, woman, or child in America will be discriminated against because of race, creed, or color. Those of us who are white must put ourselves in the role of those who are Negro to fully understand the pain of racial discrimination, what it must be like to be turned away from a public place or made to use only a segregated portion of that place for no reason other than the color of your skin. prostitutes, criminals, communists, those Americans who say that they are Nazis, they can go into a place or a hotel or a restaurant or a theater, and they can be served. Nobody will raise a question about them. But a Negro who is a college professor, or somebody who has contributed to his country in public life or in our armed services, comes to the same theater, the same restaurant, the same hotel, and he's turned down for the mere fact that he happens to have a different color skin than all of us here. How can a Negro father explain this intolerable situation to his children? And how can the children be expected to grow up with any sense of pride in being American? Just take yourself of traveling from Washington, D.C. to New Orleans, Louisiana, or Jackson, Mississippi. If you were a Negro, if you're a white person, you get in your car and you go and you travel for 200 or 300 miles, and then you decide you're going to stay at a motel or a hotel. Or you go during lunchtime and you decide you're going to stop at some restaurant along the way. If you're a Negro, you can't do that. Here in 1963 in the United States, if you're a Negro, you can't make that kind of a trip. You have to make these reservations in advance. You have to make telephone call after telephone call to find a hotel or a motel who would function. The enactment of a strong civil rights bill will provide American Negroes with legal remedies to many of their grievances, and with an article of faith, a clear indication that their government and their fellow citizens are responsive to the settlement of long-standing injustices. But the law will not be the answer. It will only be a beginning. In the final analysis, only better education, better employment, better housing, and more enlightened social attitudes will enable the Negroes to attain the full citizenship that they have deserved for such a long period of time. And only those things will put a stop to the bitter unrest that poses a constant threat of disorder within our society. The most any law can do is point the way. The rest is up to the people. Civil rights is not an issue that can be solved by governmental edict. It must be dealt with at the community level, within states, within cities, within neighborhoods, and wherever a meeting can take place between persons of light and dark skin. A great deal of hard and conscientious work must be done all over America if we are to fulfill our destiny as a just and a democratic nation. If the disgrace of racial discrimination is to be purged from our land in our time, it won't be a triumph of government alone. It will be a triumph of civic leadership in every American city and town. Leadership of the kind so many of you have already shown. Leadership by men responsive to the call for fundamental human justice. I thank you.
Wonderful.